You see, the first time when they warned us about this, we were still under the propaganda umbrella. But this time around, we don't even need a warning.
Told y'all before, I am no Republican. I voted for one Republican in my life. That's Governor Chris Christie in New Jersey because I thought that Corzine was a disaster. I voted for Clinton. I voted for Al Gore. I voted for Barack Obama twice. I voted for Biden, despite the crime bill that incarcerated a whole bunch of people in the 90s that looked like me. I shoved all of that aside. All of it. Because I knew how divisive Trump would be. But as we sit here now, and we watch something like this transpire, where there seems to be more rapt attention being paid to folks who are not even here illegally, nor are from this country, yet we want to turn around and ignore us. Black folks, Latinos, and beyond, who are impoverished and are in need. We know why you're doing it.
Yeah, we do.
Because you want that voting block. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, what did I say years ago when I used to give speeches and say I wish for at least one election, everybody vote, every black person in America votes Republican? Remember when I used to say that? You know why I used to say it?
Why?
Because you'd have to flatter us from that point forward. You couldn't just take the black vote for granted. You'd have to show us what you're bringing for us, what you're delivering to the table. And oh, by the way, it's not just addressing recidivism in the prison system. We need more than that. We deserve more than that. And we certainly don't deserve to be ignored because others who are in this country are being given stuff that's never given to us. I'm talking about my black and Latino brothers and sisters. Come on, y'all. Come on.
The sad thing is, like I said earlier, is they've been trying to warn us. Now, even when you start to wake up from all of the propaganda and brainwash that you was under for so long, you got people like, yeah, told you so. Welcome to this side, but it's gonna take a little time to trust you now. We got to see what your motives are. But honestly, they tried to tell us about this. They tried to tell us that the media was lying to us and convincing us that Trump had our best interests not at heart whatsoever. He was only out for his own better interests, and that turned out to be false. And now we see why they do not want this man to be able to run for the presidency. And in order to ensure that he won't be able to get in his seat, they have all of these frivolous tactics. We got all of these cases folding one by one at this point, you know. In addition to that, you also have all of these illegal immigrants coming here and being provided benefits with money, with food, with housing. And we have so many other issues in America that those funds could be allocated towards, but it's chosen to be used for, let me convince these people that we love them and get them over here, get them all fed and get them opportunities, get them citizenship real quick. But you know what? I don't think the black people convinced no more. I don't think they going for it this year. We ain't better just tell them, hey, Kamala, I don't know if your black campaign right now is going over well. And I would like to tell y'all that Biden is 100%, 1000% more times divisive than Trump ever could be. This man has done nothing but continue to divide and divide and divide and divide over and over and over, and not even nobody's talking about, like, literally. I don't know what the man be saying. Shout out to I'm Meme Zero. Chicago voters sending a message to Biden ahead of his visit, telling him that they are, quote, completely fed up, end quote, with the Democrats and are ready to vote for Trump as illegals trigger outrage in the Windy City. Let's watch this.
P. Ray, so President Biden's going to be in Chicago for a fundraiser tonight, but if he chooses to look around and see what Chicago is really like, what would he find?
He's going to see that Chicago is not the Democratic stronghold that they anticipated that it would be when they did their planning earlier this year.
And by that, what do you mean?
The city is completely fed up with the Democratic Party. We are stepping over illegals every day. They're now trying to break into people's homes. Gas is through the roof. Groceries are through the roof. Violence is up. Nothing is comfortable here under Democratic leadership, and we're all moving on. So I think he's going to come to MAGA country, just like Jussie Smollett told us we were.
Interesting comment there. We all remember that moment for sure. Betty, you have some thoughts on President Biden's visit today. You say you're still trying to figure out why he's even coming to Chicago in the first place. What do you mean by that?
What I mean is I know pretty much, kind of like Ms. P. Ray said, that the Democratic Party has counted us for so long, counted our votes for so long, to the point where they don't even try to appeal to the Black community, the Black voters at all. But there's been a shift taking place here in Chicago. So many of our Black members have decided to change over, to switch from blue to red. And I think it's kind of too late now to come to Chicago to appeal to us. It's nothing here for him. We are fed up, as Ms. P. Ray said, with all the things that we're dealing with here in Chicago. This has been a very dysfunctional city for a while up under this party. And the people here are now fighting back, especially the Black community.
Wow.
No.
So it's no reason to come here.
Yeah, P. Ray, that's really interesting because President Biden won Cook County in 2020 by 74%. That's landslide territory. And now you're saying that there's so much frustration that people are no longer supporting President Biden. Do you think that come election time, come November, those people will actually vote for Donald Trump? Or will they just not show up to vote at all?
Oh, they vote, man. They're going to show up.
I think that they're definitely going to vote for Donald Trump because we can't afford to keep subsidizing the illegals who are coming here. I believe our mayor said that we're going to get $5,000 a month this summer. So that's only going to exacerbate our issues and the frustrations that the people currently have. People are proudly stating that they're going to vote for the first time in their lives, and they're going to run to the polls to vote for Donald John Trump Sr.
So, Betty, Chicago has spent over $310 million on migrant care since August of 2022. When you hear that number, what goes through your mind?
It's very, very upsetting for me because that money could have went to so many other things here in the city of Chicago. But our school system here, particularly in the Black community, has suffered tremendously. Our students are leaving our communities to go to other schools. The crime rate is still very high here. So we have crimes that's gone unsolved. Homicides going back as far as 2014. It's just so many things that money could have been used for. And as a people here, we've been told that we have no money. There is no money for Chicago, for the citizens here. But now all of a sudden, monies are coming in to support illegal aliens, not migrants. To support illegals. We are the citizens here.
Right.
We've paid into the system, and we're suffering.
Yeah. They figured out a way to find $310 million to fight the migrant crisis. And here you are saying that money could have been put back into the community to support the legal residents who were born in the United States. P. Ray, really quickly, before we let you go, President Biden, of course, on the campaign trail, which is why he's going to Chicago today. All the while, Donald Trump is tied up in the courtroom with these court cases. What do you think about those court cases?
Ironic.
How closely are you following them? And would the outcome of any of these trials impact your vote?
We're not paying attention to any of that tabloid fodder. They can put him in jail. We're going to write his name on the ballot and send him letters and put money on the commissary. We want our president back. We want an America First president because we are Americans. I'm an 8th generation free American. So any president that's going to put my country and my community and Americans first have our vote. We don't care about those trials. And as he always does, I'm very confident that the president's going to beat this sham trial as well.
Biden going to Chicago? Huh. Hey, man. Hey, look, man. Don't try to pull no Trump move. Don't try to go to the hood in Chicago and go to a Chick-fil-A. No. No, Joe. Don't do it, Joe. First of all, everybody seemed around the country, everybody seems to have the same temperament as it relates to Joe Biden. And this, to me, watching this happen is like surprising. Like, I grew up in the 90s. Now, you know, I probably wasn't mentally sound, meaning, you know, I was a baby, but early 2000s, late 90s, and being Democrat was the thing to be as a black person. Now watching this happen, what? And then on top of that, the fact that landslide territory is just not even possible for Joe Biden right now, which is why they have these illegal aliens. There is not one person in Chicago, in America, in my opinion, that are legal, that can say that they are better off now than they were 4 years ago. Nobody. Come on, man. This country and this presidency has been nothing but an utter disaster. The Dems will continue to deny this. They can keep trying, but it's too hard of a truth to come to grips with. Biden, he's losing. He's losing. Gaslighting only works but for so long. Let's take another clip, a throwback clip of the woman that we seen speak in that previous clip on Fox. We're gonna see her speak, and young gentleman as well speak at a city council meeting about the $70 million additional funds handed out to illegal migrants. Whew.
I'm attacked maybe because of my views and the fact that, to point out that our government, our city government, now that I understand, has basically turned their back on Black Chicago. Y'all are implementing our demise here in the city through financing and budgeting. I sit in the room and actually get the understanding now, and it's disgusting.
I am P. Ray of the 37th Ward. Chicago Red is our organization. Because we started this session with a prayer, I want to start my comment with the scripture. 1 Timothy 5:8 says, "But if any provide not for his own, and specifically for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel."
Come on, girl.
Talk to y'all today about not going to hell. In the 37th Ward, there was a family, the Jones family. Amari Jones was standing in her family building that they've owned for 40 years, doing a TikTok dance with her mother. A bullet came through the window, hit her in the neck. She fell to the ground in front of her mother and bled to death. A month ago, on the Chicago mugshot page, her mother was on that page. Her mother had on her daughter's Rest in Peace t-shirt. She washed it so many times that it was completely faded out. She was completely high, out of her mind, and the charge was possession. Now, the first $51 million that this council gave to the migrants came from the opioid settlement funds. I am here on behalf of the Jones family, on behalf of the 37th Ward, on behalf of Black Chicago, on behalf of the entire city, to ask you all to vote no and put that money back in the opioid settlement fund. We need that money in my neighborhood. We need that on my block. That woman should not be at Cook County Jail because she's grieving over a random act of violence that caused her to lose her child in front of her face, when the city of Chicago has millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to give to people who ain't paid a dime into the tax base. We've been in my building for 52 years. We're about to pay some more taxes. The Jones family has been in their building for 45 years, paying taxes every year on time. So I'm asking y'all to use our tax money for our people. We need it. We got people leaning. We got people rocking. We got overdosing. We got pass out lines. You live on the west side, Mayor Johnson. You know exactly what I'm talking about. We need the money for us. We need opioid treatment on the west side of Chicago. We are the headquarters of the cartel, and everybody in here knows it. They selling more drugs than the law can allow, and y'all giving money back to them because they traffic those people up here, so we paying them going and coming. Absolutely not. We pay too much. It costs too much money to live in this city. Help Wanda Jones. Help every other grieving mother who feels like she has to go get high to get over the loss of her child. This is a woman who lived in that house. She still sleeps in that living room where her daughter passed out and bled to death. So I'm asking y'all to say no, put these people on the back burner, and put the money back in the opioid fund. We need that money. Thank y'all.
So as you can see, the Dems, they no longer need us. They don't need us at all. They don't care about us either. They only care about our vote. And the sad reality is there's still people that will vote blue, even if we seen Joe Biden campaign with a white sheet over his head, because certain Democrats have been convinced that Trump is just racist, and that's it.